I have never done that ever.
That's even bigger, eh?
There's moved, big school of jobbies. God no! Welcome everybody to Spearfishing Down Under. Just about to pack the boat. It's my birthday today. I'm getting old and it's getting pretty late at night packing the boat. I've been had family over for a bit of time together, bit of party tonight, and packing the boat to go for a dive by myself tomorrow. No one can dive with me, so getting out and go for a quick spin. I was actually supposed to be heading down the coast to chase marlin with a friend, but that didn't work out because we didn't have the right weather. So I'm going to go out for a quick dive myself, see if I can shoot a few fish. Target tomorrow, shoot the snapper. Still mackerel closure, which is painful. Finishes the next day, but go out, see if I can shoot some snapper, be cool. Shoot a nice tusky, be awesome. They're pretty much my two target fish. Gonna go out and have a look for that. That's the focus for tomorrow. Chuck this gear in the boat, get it all sorted, get it ready to go, and get up bright and early, and I'll see you all in the morning. Done, packed, that's gold. Good morning everybody, I'm on my way, heading out, going for a dive. Honestly, I did sleep in and it's really late, which is always painful in Brisbane because there's traffic. And now I'm trying to get to the boat ramp, it's taking me forever, driving through traffic after traffic. But weather looks nice, maybe a little bit blowier than I hoped it would be. So it's forecast to drop right out and there'll be a glass out this afternoon. So I'm gonna head out and go and chase some fish. Honestly, I slept in, burned the candle both ends a little bit, trying to get some videos out to you all. Obviously it's not what I do full time. I'm a full-time pastor and working in a really tough community in the western suburbs of Brisbane. We do a lot of community work and stuff like that, so a lot of that going on. Also trying to get videos out till 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's a lot of fun. So deserve to sleep in. My birthday, driving solo, do what I want, I'm out. Quick change plans. Still at boat ramp, still ready to go diving, but not going solo anymore. I actually messaged just a young frother, that's such a hard word to say, just a young guy from here who actually has his own YouTube channel, does a bunch of diving out here in the bay. I actually enjoy watching his stuff because it's you know, really cool stuff I started learning on when I was young, and he's going to come out with me, so I'm going to dive till dark and we'll have a bit of fun. I think it might be bit eye-opening for him, a little bit different to his usual diving in the shallows, chasing a couple of little tuskies or something like that. So we'll see how we'll go, get him out there in the water and see if we can shoot a couple of fish. Yeah, I'm just going to wait for him, get the boat ready, and hopefully it'll be not too long and we'll get out and get into it. Danny's stuff, the young fella in the boat, and get moving. Dan,
Yo.
We're going out for a dive with young Dan Young, and last minute mission, eh?
Yeah.
Dragged you out.
Yeah.
We're literally, I woke up this morning, I'm like, I'm going diving. Dan's come with me, and we're out of there. I thought about last night, packed the boat just in case, and woke up this morning, I'm like, yep, it's on. We what do you want to shoot today, mate?
Man, I don't really mind what I shoot. I just, hopefully I can dive and don't hold you back too much.
You'll be fine.
Just want to enjoy the day. I'd love a few fish because I don't have any fish
Nice.
at home, so maybe a snapper. If I get a snapper, that'd be awesome.
Let's see what we can do. Snapper, we're going to look for probably jacks, tusky, snapper. Still mackerel closure till tomorrow, which is painful. We'll see how we go. Got 210 litre esky to fill, mate. You got that? You got that.
Is that right?
What just happened, Dan?
The hat's not going back on until we're out there.
Dropped the hat twice in 2 minutes. Rookie error. We're going.
Wow.
We have some blue water. It's not the spot we're going to dive. Not quite looking good enough. We're geared up. We're just going to keep moving a little bit more. See if we can find some fish. Sounded around, not the fish we want. We will get back to you. Filming each other. Yep. Lots of filming going on. Yep. YouTube happening everywhere. Get into it.
Ready, guys?
See the bottom clearly, eh? Yeah, it's nice and clean. While I was waiting for Denny to jump in, I did a quick dive down just to check the bottom, check what was going on. This is not an area I dive a lot. It's a bit shallower, so I thought it'd be nicer for Dan, and I was looking around just to see if I could see any fish. I spotted a couple of gold spot wrasse and a few other parrots. Hey Dan, nice gold spot wrasse there. Dan dove down, not actually knowing what a gold spot wrasse really looked like. He got to the bottom, saw that gold spot wrasse, started aiming at it, wasn't quite sure on the size, and what wasn't quite sure was actually the gold spot wrasse. He let that thing swim away. That's it! Shoot it!
It's only like 34 centimeters.
It's a good one, I promise you. You pull that up, it'll be like a 45 centimetre fish. No, I promise you that's a good fish.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure if that was what you were saying.
And there's blue bars right under us, right here.
Okay.
Dan had another dive. This time he was really focused on that gold spot wrasse. Come down, aimed up, nailed himself his very first gold spot wrasse. Absolutely stoked for him. First fish of a species is always really cool. That was a nice one.
Man, they're so pretty, eh?
Beautiful. You stab in the head, you'll go bright red.
Wow. Woo.
Swam along a little further till I found a sand patch and a couple of boulders. I dove down and noticed it was really fishy. It was about 2:30 in the afternoon and I wasn't sure how many fish we were going to shoot. And I saw a couple of spangos. I lined up, shot one of those nice little spangos. Beautiful eating at this size. I swam about 100 metres from the boat, so I just clipped that spango to my belt just to do another quick dive. As I was heading to the bottom, I saw a school of sergos. I noticed in the sergos about 1.5 kilo to 2 kilo squire, small snapper. Just tried to aim at that snapper and he slowly drifted away, aimed up, just choked and missed that fish. After I missed it, I noticed there was a whole bunch more. I pointed them out to Dan as I was slowly swimming back to the surface. Dan had a quick dive, but he couldn't see any of those snapper. Next dive, I was pretty focused. I was going to head straight to the bottom. As I got close to the bottom, I was trying to pick a nice spot to lay. I come down behind the rock and I started just to scratch. I popped my head up over the rock. I couldn't believe my eyes. There was a nice school of little snapper. There was a joltfish. Oh, and in behind them was a really, really nice school of moo. Those fish came around the other side of the rock, so I repositioned myself and my gun. As I did, behind me I realised there was more snapper. And then out from behind the rock came a big school of moo. I scratched. I crept, kept my head down, and in came a really nice moo. I shot myself my first moo for the day. Sorting that fish out on the surface, copped another blue bottle to the face. Man, there's been so many blue bottles recently. Couple of blue bottles there, just be careful. Dan had to dive down looking to see if he could see a moo. He hung a bit off the bottom and those moo didn't come in. Looked around, no moo, no snapper, headed back to the surface. As soon as Dan got up from his dive, I headed down to the bottom again. As I was just coming to the bottom, I could see a school of snapper off in the distance. I tucked in behind the rock, scratched a bit. A snapper hang off in the distance and I couldn't get a shot. But as I continued to scratch, I noticed a moo making its way along the edge of the rock. Tucked down behind it. Oh, that moo just came straight past me, a bit bigger than the other. And I stoned it.
That's a nice moo. Oh, snapper there everywhere. Really? So many snapper. I need to bring that boat closer. This is going nuts. I never usually dive this spot because it's actually the back of the reef.
Yeah, right.
It's like all reef that side. There's a little bit of a strand bowl here. What's happening?
That's a big one, eh?
There's so many snapper there.
Hold that one up.
Here's a good one.
Yeah.
I need to move that boat closer. Otherwise I'm just going to be dragging fish around me everywhere. Do you reckon you can stay on this spot?
Yeah,
If you can stay just back over this way.
Well, we just stopped in to do a current check and I just shot 2 moo. I cannot believe it's happened. So cool. Spango, see some snapper. Oh, it's hot, it's so good. Oh, getting in. I moved the boat over and re-dropped the anchor. This dive I headed straight to the bottom, just expecting those moo to have moved on. As soon as I got to the bottom, I looked up to see a school of jobfish. I thought this is really cool, a couple extra species, scratched a little bit, tucked in behind the rock again. Those jobbies just come around that rock, sat a bit higher, a little bit more scratch. That jobby couldn't help himself. Snapped the spine on a nice jobby.
Nice work.
There's moo, big school of jobbies. It's going nuts.
Oh, I gotta get a good dive in.
Dan had another dive, headed down to the bottom. Just hung off that big boulder and again hadn't quite seen the moo or the snapper and he headed back to the surface. Again, when he hit the surface, I headed back down for another dive. My focus, again, straight to the bottom, see if there's any more jobbies or moo around. Scratched, look around, there's heaps of surgeons. Off in the distance again, more nice moo. This is so rare. Just never expected to see moo just hanging around this area. That moo came in closer as I scratched. Shot myself, my 3rd moo. This had never happened to me before. Shooting 3 moo in one spot. Wild.
I can't believe I shot 3 moo. I have never done that here ever in the same spot.
Wow.
That is just like unbelievable. They just keep coming.
That's crazy.
Usually you shoot 1 moo and you never see another one.
Yeah, right.
They just keep coming and coming, then job fishing.
How many are you seeing? Like when
That time I only just saw 1. The time before, so like when I shot that other bigger one, I saw a couple.
Yeah.
The first time there was a school of them.
Wow.
Like obviously they're learning. And I haven't seen any more decent snapper.
Okay.
I'm thinking, if the current stays like this, Oh my gosh, we're gonna have a field day shooting reefies all day. Just little spot like this. This is not even like a good spot.
Yeah, right.
It's just not where I'd come to dive in conditions like this.
Yeah.
Feels like the current's just gonna trickle like this. Hasn't got any stronger. This is just perfect current for like reefies on front edges like that.
Danny had one more dive. Again, didn't see the moo. Just hung a bit off the bottom and headed back to the surface without actually seeing any of those nice fish. I did one more dive down next to those boulders. As I was laying on the bottom, a nice whale swam above my head. At that, I figured it's time to make a move, see if we could escape the sharks before we actually start losing fish. Danny, how'd you feel?
Honestly, feeling a little bit motion sick, to be honest.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
Did you get seasick?
A little bit.
Yeah, right.
And just trying to get more relaxed, I guess.
Yeah.
Starting to feel better at the end. Yeah.
Saw snapper, jobbies, moo. Saw a couple of cod towards the end. And shot a bunch of moo. I can't believe I shot 3 moo at the one spot. That doesn't happen often.
Cleaning up.
We are going to make a move, try and find another spot, and see if we can find some more fish. Right, Danny, ready for the next spot?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Time to put some more fish at the boat, eh?
Try to.
Alrighty, we're in. Looking for a snapper again, looking for a jack. Jacks are what we're looking for. Make it happen. I took the first dive just to really see what was going on at this next spot. Come down into another bowl and it was just filled with snapper in the 1 to 2 kilo mark. Try to just creep back easily and quietly and see if I didn't spook him to give Dan a chance to shoot one.
School of snappers sitting right there.
Dan was feeling a bunch more relaxed at this spot and he came down and laid on the bottom. As he was laying there, he looked off in the distance and it was really fishy, but he didn't see any snapper. I dove again and slipped down right into the gap behind the rock. I laid down there and gee, there was so many snapper off in the distance. Not huge fish, but really cool fish, and one of Dan's target fish for the day was to shoot his first snapper. I noticed I was just milling around, so I'd creep back, headed up over the rock. It was so fishy, and I looked off in the distance as I was heading up, and I saw a really nice mangrove jack hanging amongst the surgeon fish. Started pointing it out to Dan as I was heading to the surface, just to get himself prepared and ready to be able to have a dive and shoot that mangrove jack.
Oh, nice jack just sitting here mid-water. Jack just right here.
Danny was ready to dive and he headed down. Did really well, calmed himself, came in behind those Sergios, spotted that jack off in the distance and waited till he got a really good shot. Nailed himself a PB jack. He was stoked. I was stoked. Such a cool thing.
You! That's epic. Yeah, he's just sitting there. So dumb.
What a fish.
That's cool. Is that your biggest jack?
Oh, I reckon it probably is.
That's cool.
Thanks, dude. That's awesome.
No worries, mate. That's epic.
You put me on it. You totally spoon fed it to me.
I didn't shoot it though. You did.
Really? Oh. Oh, what a fish. Yes, let's go.
As Dan was putting his fish in the boat, I swam down the back of the boat because I didn't want to spook those snapper anymore in front of the boat. First dive, headed to the bottom, just waiting there. Didn't see any really good fish. All I saw was another whaler swim above my head. You know what, I feel like it's that same shark followed us. We'd moved a couple of kilometres, but it came with us. Then he was just about ready to get back in the water, and so I thought I'd do one more dive at the back of the boat before he hopped in. As I hit the bottom, I looked up, there was jobfish just coming in again. So stoked to see all these really cool reef fish. Scratched a little bit and those jobbies just came so close, and I nailed myself another awesome jobby.
I heard a gun go off.
Genuinely one of the coolest afternoon dives I've ever had here locally. Just couldn't believe how it was unfolding. And you know what? It's going to get better and better.
I didn't want to stay where those snapper were. That's why I've been diving down the back here. We'll come back up and see if those snappers still there. See that snapper just there? It's right straight up there.
Swam back up to the front where the snapper were, and Dan did another dive. At this stage, he was actually really starting to relax and getting better every dive. You know, probably a little bit uptight at the start, but now just relaxed into the dive and was actually improved his bottom time so much. I had another drop to see if I could spot those snapper. I waited there looking off into that bowl where the snapper were previously. Couldn't see any of those snapper, and I was just looking around, and as I was about to head back to the surface, off in the distance I noticed a really, really big moo. After coming up and telling Dan about that moo, I noticed that I was actually making me even more nervous by just telling him about the awesome fish I was seeing on the bottom. It was making it hard for him to hold his breath.
There's a monster moo there.
Oh, really? As you're coming up, I'm like, don't tell me there's an epic fish there because I won't be able to.
He told me to dive again, and I headed down to the bottom, and as I lay there and started to scratch, fish all around me. There was trevallies and there was surgeons and bait fish. I noticed that big moo off in the distance. I also realised I was laying not in the right spot and I needed to rearrange where I was laying. I got off the high point and down into a crack that got me closer to the fish, but also a way better hunting position. I crept up the crack and looked over, and I could see that really nice moo. He did a loop around and came back and gave me a pass. I pulled the trigger, not my best shot by far, but I nailed an even bigger moo than the other three I'd shot. That whaler decided to come in under my moo as I was landing him. The shot wasn't great, so I couldn't pull it up really fast. I just gave that shark a bit of a shout and finally got that fish in my hands.
That's a big move. Oh, that's a good one.
What's like the biggest move you've ever got?
Oh, he's up there. He's a good fish. That's gold. I saw another snapper too. I saw a nice one about the same size as this.
What was that little bully or that whaler?
Whaler, yeah. Swam over me when I was at the back there before I shot the jobby.
Oh, yep.
Danny had another dive on the front of that ledge as I was putting my fish in the boat. Again, so fishy, heaps and heaps of surgeons, just not the really good fish that we've been looking for.
Good move. Far out, that's a donkey.
I took Dan for a bit of a swim. We swam about 100 metres from the boat to another ledge that I know. First dive I come down and oh my gosh, this ledge was so fishy. Bait everywhere, heaps of surgeons, heaps of blubber lips. Not the fish that I was really looking for. I looked around a fair bit and as I was heading to the surface, off in the distance I noticed a massive school of moo. Come to the surface trying to keep it to myself, but I couldn't help telling him, moo everywhere.
Heaps of moo there.
Danny put his head down straight away, trying to pretend he didn't hear what I just said. I was just killing him by talking about the great fish on the bottom. Danny calmed his mind and headed to the bottom with a really nice dive. He hung on the bottom amongst all of that fish and he was looking around to see if he could see those moo. I watched the footage later on and I could see a whole school of moo on the bottom, but he saw a jobfish come in, aimed up at that jobby, moo all behind it, pulled the trigger, stoned his very first jobfish. He was stoked. I dove and hung with that jobby all the way to the surface. There's no way I was letting any shark steal that first jobby for him. He would have been devastated. I was stoked for him. Such a cool fish.
Yeah! Is that your first jobby?
Yeah.
You?
Yes. That's awesome.
So cool.
That's so cool.
That's epic.
Wow.
Well, we've just shot, what did you shoot? You shot jobfish?
Jobfish, jack, nice jack.
Nice, PB jack?
Yeah.
PB jack and a unicorn leather jacket. So 2 new species in the PB.
So stoked.
That's sick.
So awesome, man.
Alright, now it's just snapper o'clock. Time to go find a snapper.
Just top the day off.
First dive on the next spot, I came down to the bottom. As I neared the bottom, I could just see so many surgeon fish, so much bait fish and blubber lips. In amongst them, there was a couple of little tusk fish. I started creeping along the bottom and looked in one of the caves. There's a big school of mangrove jack sitting in the back of that cave. But I looked out in the distance, massive school of really big moo. Behind those moo, I could see snapper. Man, this spot was absolutely going off. Tucked in under that rock and I wasn't quite seated right where I wanted to be. And I knew I'd crept along the bottom for a bit and wasn't ready to really shoot one of those moo. So I ducked back to see if Dan could get in position to get one.
There's like 50 moo down there. Moo. moo, 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 tuskies, snapper,
What happened?
jacks. Oh, just like, I couldn't decide what I want to shoot.
Too many other fish.
Oh, there was a real big moo down there, bigger than the other one.
Dando, but unfortunately me telling him about all the awesome fish down there just played with his head. He got down near the bottom, it was a bit dark, and he was just buzzing from everything he'd seen and couldn't quite hold his breath long enough. This next dive I was focused, making sure I got in exactly the right spot to hunt the fish I was looking for. So I head down the bottom, looked back under the cave, saw some jacks, looked out, saw some tuskies, but my focus was only snapper or moo. I lay on a piece of sand, a little scratch, looked up, there was snapper everywhere. Scratch, 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 though snapper couldn't help himself. Had my gun in position, and I nailed myself a nice snapper. Man, that snapper took off, flew back straight at me and headbutted me. Never had that happen with a snapper before. Flopper got stuck, but it popped off, and I got that fish to the surface without any shark troubles.
All this size though, no big ones.
Yeah, okay.
As I was chucking that snapper in the boat, Danny did a dive. Calmed his mind, came down, comfortable towards the bottom, looked up to see a really nice cod. He lined up perfectly, nailed himself a really good eating fish, beautiful estuary cod.
Pretty big, eh? Not too big, like good size?
Perfect, mate.
Okay.
Beautiful, mate.
Cramping up in the hammies.
That's sick.
I did one last dive as it was starting to get pretty dark. Headed down the bottom, laid him behind the rock and scratched a little more on the sand. Off in the distance I could see some mangrove jacks and in comes some really nice moo. Tucked down, scratched a lot, kept my head down as low as I could, but I was trying to take my eyes off that really big moo. He came around, gave me a shot, I hit him just behind the head, basically stoned him, and I secured a really good moo.
Oh, that's even bigger, eh? What is going on here? Look, every moo in the world is dumb. What on earth is happening here? You reckon he's bigger? He could be close to being bigger. Oh my gosh! That's just like every moo is so dumb. I've never seen this before. What's that, 5 for the day?
Yeah. So, definitely up for it.
3, 4, 5. Whoa, and 2 big ones. What is going on? I never. Wow.
He's got to be bigger than the other one, right? Far out. Cool, stop. What do we shoot here? Give me a little look-see.
Hold up?
A couple of those
I don't know if we
species.
can hold up the big guy.
Oh, how about we just go moo moo and snapper ridge. He's a good moo. Not a bad little stop. Nice little snapper and a donkey of a moo. Oh, he's a beauty. That's got to be one of my best moo at home for sure. I saw him the dive before, big school of them. Waited this time. Bulls. Nailed him and the snapper. Yes, great little stop off. Alrighty, that's a sick little afternoon.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So stoked, mate. Oh, they are cracking moo. The biggest moo. Nice snapper. Really cool. Well done, mate. PB on the jack and
Yeah,
first
PB
jobby.
done. First jobby.
So good, mate. Well done.
So, thanks for taking me out, eh?
My
That
pleasure.
That was really good.
Hey,
Really good fun.
this guy, Danny Young, you can find him on YouTube. Really cool channel as well. I love watching it. All the stuff that I started diving, it's so cool to watch. And hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us today. Great little afternoon dive. Good hanging out with Dan. We've been talking about going for a dive for a long time. Finally got out and made it happen. Really cool little afternoon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Hey, don't forget, all of our rife gear if you want to grab some. Jump on Adreno. You can get that online or in store. Tim Spear to get your 10% discount. Thanks for watching. See you out there next time.
Phew.